Horses have taken Palia over by storm. And if you're like me, and you got that horse as soon as you could, but you very quickly realized they are not as simple to control and take care of as we hoped, this video's for you. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down everything you need to know about Palia's horses so you can ride and take care of your horse as easily as you can do pretty much everything else in Palia, meaning you can finally enjoy your new horsing adventures. Hello. How is everyone doing today? My name is Lacon, and welcome back to our cozy little zoo, where we like to discuss and play all of our favorite cozy life sim games, like Palia. So let's go ahead and dive in to what you're here for, the horses. So in order to get your first horse, you're gonna have to do a few things. The developers suggest that you complete all the main storyline quests before even entering the Royal Highlands for the first time. But don't worry, that is just a suggestion, and we don't actually have to follow it. The only reason they're suggesting it is so you can continue along with the main storyline, so it flows easily. But if you haven't finished the main storyline, like this person right here, don't worry, you can still get a horse, because I did. But if you're starting from day one, this is your first day logging into Palia, you've created a Palia account just so you can get a horse, there are a few things you're gonna have to do before you can actually get a horse. These things are not as extensive as completing all of the main story quests. You are just gonna have to complete all the quests up until the Like a Bird quest, the quest where you obtain a glider. So if you have a glider in game, you're good. You don't need to do anything. But right here is a list of all the quests, starting from the very first quest you get when you enter Palia for the first time, up until the Fly Like a Bird quest. So if you're in any of these, that will show you how far you need to go before you can get a horse yourself. But completing that Fly Like a Bird quest will grant you access to the glider, where then Delilah will arrive to your housing plot, give you the recipe for a barn bell, which will give you access to ranching, and then you're able to officially go into the Royal Highlands. And if you need any help with these quests, I highly suggest going to the Palia wiki, which I will have linked down below. And if you just look up the quest that you're on at this very moment, it will help you figure out what you need to do. It will walk you through it. Very easy, very simple, highly suggest it. But once that quest is done and you have ranching unlocked, you need to make your way down to the Murdochs in the Elder Woods. Now, if you have fast travel boards unlocked, you can use those. But as you can see right here, this is me walking from my plot all the way to the docks. I'm gonna walk there the long way, so that way you can get there as easily as possible without any confusion, because walking through the Elder Woods on foot, especially for one of the first couple times, is very confusing. I say first couple times, pretty much every time I go into the Elder Woods, I get lost. Definitely just follow this right here, and obviously when we get a horse, this trip will be faster. But don't forget to click on any bulletin boards you see along the way, so that way you can fast travel to those boards later on, cutting down travel time even more. Once you get to the Murdochs, you will see a gate. And this gate is what we need to go through to get to the Royal Highlands. And when you enter for the first time, this is what you'll see. A beautiful cutscene, and then an open new world set before you. Like I said before, I got my horse before completing all my main quests, so if you have completed all the quests all the way through the Elder Woods, you will probably see something different when you first get in. But if you haven't, this is what you're going to see. We're going to go straight to Hacian for a side quest called Before the Dawn. This quest should be given to you upon entering the Royal Highlands for the first time, but if you don't see like anything pop up, don't worry, you should still be able to do it. But with this Before the Dawn quest, you'll go down and you'll see Hassian. Here on the map is where he is. Just in case it doesn't pop up for you and you can't see it, try to go to this location right here on the map, and you should see Hassian beside a horse that is stuck in amber. And when you get close to them, it will automatically start this talking conversation with them. You don't even have to click on them. That will lead you through the Before the Dawn quest, and that is how you get your first horse. Now you have a horse. I repeat, you have a horse. So very exciting. You're going to be able to change their appearance and their name at your ranch later on, but right now we need to figure out how to ride this majestic creature. You can equip your horse via the tool wheel, just like you would equip your axe, your bow, etc., etc. Now I'm going to be talking about these controls and how to steer your horse and things like that through the controls I use, which is on the PC with a keyboard and mouse. But the overarching tips and tricks I'm going to be giving you, the ways that I have improved on my riding skill, is universal. So it may be a little bit different if you're on controller or if you're on Switch, but the overarching skills will be the same, so just bear with me. Let's go ahead, and before we officially get into this horse riding lesson, let's go to the beach or a big open part of the map. I do not recommend doing this in the area you first get a horse. There's too many walls. Too many walls. We need lots of open space. So here on the map are some areas that I recommend you go to that are nice and big and open and will allow you to get comfortable with what's going on. Or if you even have an empty house plot that is completely empty, I've even seen some people make horse racing tracks on their plots, but those will also work as well. So just a big, nice, empty area. And let's go ahead and start with those horse riding lessons. Now, step one, in order to understand the riding mechanics, we're gonna first equip our horse. And now that we're on our horse, you can see I'm facing the horse. Like, I can see the front of my horse. This is not good. I could still walk forward. Like, if I press W to walk forward, I'm gonna be walking forward, but it's not gonna help us. I don't know where I'm gonna go. I don't know where I'm going. So whatever controls you use to look around you, I want you to line it up with the back of your horse. So it looks like this. Your horse's butt is right in the center of frame. And then don't touch the mouse. Take the hand off the mouse, take the hand off of whatever control that is, and then start walking forward. And now that you're walking forward, whenever you press it, only press it once. If you hold it, it will go faster. Even when you let go of it, it will continue to move as long as you're holding it, holding the W if you're on PC, or the control stick forward if you're on controller. As long as you're doing that, you're gonna go as fast as possible, and that's not gonna be good for us. So what I want to just get used to the controls of how this moves. Stay at this pace right here. Stay at 2 ticks. It's slow. You're not going to be going very fast, but this is what you want. And then if you want to go left or right, just I'm using my A and D keys. So just get used to this. And then when you feel comfortable with this, take it up another notch. Again, don't hold the W. That will just make it go too fast, too quickly, and you won't be able to control it. I think the easiest way when it comes to riding a horse is to slowly speed up the horse. Whenever I've been running around with my horse and I try to go as fast as possible, and I'm just holding down the W, that's usually when I can't control it and I'm gonna end up hitting a wall. The only key I suggest you hold, do a movement as quickly as possible, is the stop. So just hold that and then you instantly stop. That is the only one I suggest to do. You can also turn around without moving forward. I'm just pressing the D key right now, or the A key right now, without pressing W. So I can move, and then we can keep going. So when it comes to steering and using your horse, as long as you're not using your mouse or whatever you use to look around, it gets really easy. And it's not that difficult, and I feel really comfortable going up to these higher speeds with my horse and even using up some of the stamina. And I don't really have to worry about running into anything. Now, it's whenever if my horse is like off a little bit, that is when it gets harder to control. Like see, I just ran into something right there. It is harder to control because my thing is slightly in a different direction. So that's why I suggest you just line it up with your horse's butt and don't touch it for the length of time that you are on your horse. And then with us running really fast, you can see that our stamina bar is going down. But this right here, that little ball of light, is what increases our stamina bar. So now we can keep going at this really fast speed without having to slow down. Because once this stamina bar goes down to 0, we won't be able to move as fast. We'll have to slow down a little bit so our horse can essentially catch its breath. And then once they've caught their breath, then we can start doing stuff. As long as you don't run into a tree. When I am using my mouse to look around, I highly suggest not going faster than the 3rd tick speed. Obviously, the highest tick speed is the fastest, but the faster you're going, the harder it is to control and maneuver. So if I'm trying to look around and see, oh, I need a flower. Let's see if I can find that flower. There it is. It's right there. Poof. I can instantly press R, instantly get off my horse, pick up these flowers that I saw while I was looking around, and then we can get back on our horse by hitting the toolbar again, and then we're able to get going again. So this middle speed is where I like to hang out, unless I know where I'm going and I'm going really far. But if I'm just collecting resources around the world, the middle speed is your best friend. Now let's move on to jumping. So jumping, again, this is really gonna help if you're lined up with your horse's butt right in the middle of your camera. And it may take a few tries. So in order for us to jump, you're gonna wanna press space, and you're gonna wanna press it a little bit sooner than you think you would in order to jump over things. You don't need to be going super fast in order to jump over a specific object, but you do need to be going faster than like tick 1. But if you're at this 3 tick speed that I like to sit at, you're gonna be at a fine enough speed to be able to jump over things. Which I'm talking about jumping, and I don't know where I am. Oh. Okay. We made it! But we need to find a fence so we can jump over it. So I can show you how to do it. Here we go. We're at a normal speed and I can jump over this fence just fine. But if I get too close to it before I press jump, or I press jump too soon, either one of the two, it's not gonna let you. For getting used to jumping, I highly recommend placing some like fences on an empty plot, maybe making a racing plot of some kind, which I've seen a lot of people do. So you can have your own little racing area, which is really cool. Or you can go to this part of the map that I'm at right now. As you can see right here, this part of the map, essentially the central stables, there's lots of fences over here, lots of little small walls for us to jump over really easily. Oh, I didn't necessarily jump over it, but I didn't get stuck. I just landed right on top of it. Riding your horse is going to take time. There are different keys in the settings that you can change to tweak it with whatever is going to be easier for you when it comes to riding your horse. But at the end of the day, it is just going to take some time. It is going to take some time. It is a very different walking skill and maneuvering skill than what we're used to with how we control just our general Palian character. How us by ourselves without a horse move around this world is much different than how we're going to be moving around this world with a horse. So it is going to take time. Give yourself that grace and go to those open areas to just run around and get comfortable with it. But some of my favorite tips in general of using a horse is keeping the horse at the 3-tick speed. And then if you see something and you instantly want to get off your horse, just quickly pressing R. I don't even have to worry about slowing down. Just quickly press R, do what I need to do, and then get back on my horse. Very, very simple. Like, look, I want to shoot this animal, instantly get off, pull out my bow. Well, I need proper arrows, but I don't have them. And then I could shoot away. I only have one arrow, so I'm not gonna even try. And just like that, you're a horse riding pro. So let's go ahead and go over to the ranch and see what all the other things you can do with these horses. Because it's not just about racing and running around. It's also about looking cute. Here at the ranch is where you can take care of your horses, just like you can do with pretty much any other ranching animal when it comes to like customizing and breeding them. The very first time you go to your ranch after you've gotten your horse, you will see your horse inside one of the areas where all the animals hang out. And when you go to interact with them for the first time, you will be prompted to give them a name. I named my horse Jungyeon after a member in the girl group Twice. Shout out to all my onces out there. If you know what I'm saying when I say that, you're a real one. But you can feed them and you can pet them just like any other animal. And as long as your horse is not venerated, you will receive fertilizer from them. That is the thing that they give us upon producing. You can get like weed block fertilizer, Hydro Pro fertilizer, Speedy Grow fertilizer, Harvest Boost, and Quality Up fertilizer. And they actually give a lot of fertilizer. The Dawn Spur horse, which is the free horse you get, they give you items in a higher quantity but lower quality. There's 2 horse breeds that you can buy from the premium shop, and they will give you higher quality stuff in lesser quantity. But they'll give you the same exact fertilizer poop. And their happiness and hunger goes down steadily in real time. So if you don't log in for a few days to take care of them, they may be a little hungry and sad, but thankfully this does not affect their speed. This does not affect their abilities to be a mount for you when you're riding through Palia. It doesn't affect the main purpose of having a horse, which is getting you from point A to point B. Now, everyone gets this free horse. Like I said, they all look the exact same. In case you want a unique looking horse, you have 3 ways of obtaining the unique looking horse. The first way is through the premium shop. I'm sure you've seen in the premium shop, there's 2 different horse breeds, like I said a little bit before, the Akawindu and the Phoenix Fire horses. Those are different types of horses, and they have different patterns and things that you can buy using real money. So if that's an option, definitely look into it, decide if that's right for you, but I'm not going to go too deep into it because I have not purchased them myself. So I can only tell you what you can see on the premium shop. So I wouldn't be able to add any useful information for them. So we're mostly going to be talking about the Dawn Spurs and the free options of making your horses look cute. Now, the second way you can do this is with treats, and treats, you can either buy them from the Ranching Guild store if you are level 10 or higher in the ranching skill, or you get treat bags whenever you donate an animal that you don't want. I like to donate all my venerated animals and then just kind of get a new one and rename them what the venerated animal was, so I can pretend that they're still here with us and I didn't just get rid of them. So they can still be here, but also I can get a nice rotation of treats and a nice rotation of the products that animals produce, because they do stop producing when they're venerated. But the treats that you want to look out for or buy are the Cookie of the Day cookies. This cookie will, when you feed it to your horse or any animal, it will grant a single random cosmetic trait. There is also the roulette cookie. This one may be easier to come by than the Cookie of the Day, but this one, when you feed it to your horse or animal, it will grant a single random trait. So this could be cosmetic or it could be a functional trait. And then if you accidentally get something through those cookies that you're like, ooh, I do not want, you have two options of cookies. You have the reroll cookie, randomizes each of the traits your animal has to a different variant of cosmetic traits. Only do this if you are not attached to any of the traits. If you're attached to one of the traits that your horse has, do not use this reroll cookie, because the reroll cookie will change everything. It will not hold on to the one thing you want. So only do this if you did the Cookie of the Day or the roulette cookie a few times and you're not really inspired by any of them. You can use this and it will re-roll all of them in one go. As well as the Oopsie cookie. This Oopsie cookie is another gamble, but it's a less risk of gamble compared to the re-roll cookie. When you feed an Oopsie cookie to your horse or animal, it will remove a single random trait. Say your horse has a heart pattern on them that you want to keep, but they also have the dirty looking sheen. And you're like, oh no, I don't really want that. Or they have the shiny sheen, so it's kind of hard to see the hearts and things like that. So you have one trait you want, one trait you don't want. Using the Oopsie cookie will give you a chance of removing that unwanted trait while keeping the trait you do want. It only removes one. It doesn't change all of them. So it's less of a gamble than the reroll cookie, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. And then if you have a baby that you've gotten that you're like, oh my goodness, this baby is so cute, I want to ride them right now. If you feed them an Instagrow cookie, they will instantly grow up into a young adult, so that way you can go ahead and ride them and you don't have to wait for them to age up naturally. And the last way to get a cute horse is through breeding. Now, breeding is pretty much what you expect. You have two horses, you breed them together, and you see what their baby looks like. There are different cookies to help advance and kind of lend the breeding more in your favor. There's different cookies to be like, I don't want this horse's traits to pass on, but I do want this horse's traits to pass on. I want there to be a higher chance of these traits versus these, and you breed them together and see what pops out. But pretty much the breeding and the cookies, they kind of go together hand in hand. I like to breed my horses together, and then if I'm not like super excited by the traits that they've popped out with, I can feed them a cookie or two. Now you may be saying, Lacon, all this is great, but like, I don't even know what my options are. What am I looking for when it comes to the traits that I can or can't have? you know? Like what's going on? A horse can have 6 traits, and up to 4 of those can be cosmetic traits. So your horse will have up to 4 cosmetics and 2 functional. Pretty much that's usually how it goes. So if you have a horse that has 6 traits and you're trying to feed them a cookie of the day, it's not gonna work. They've already maxed out on their traits. You're gonna have to remove one before you can try again. And that is when I like to use the reroll cookie, is if someone has all their maxed traits, but I'm not super in love with really any of them, I can use that reroll cookie to change all 6, see what I get, without having to use 4 different cookies of the day. Now, first, we are going to talk about the functional traits. These are traits that you will get through breeding. And these functional traits, there's a set of riding traits that are only available to mounts, so that is what we're going to be focusing on with these functional traits, but there are a whole lot more. Again, you can look at the Palia wiki. I'll actually leave a link down below to the actual wiki page that discusses all the functional traits, so you can look at all of them, because there is production traits, there's negative traits, hunger traits, happiness traits, donation traits, breeding traits, and then the riding traits. The riding traits that we have are bulldozer, which means your horse is faster than usual, but slightly worse at turning. We have sprinter, faster than usual, but slightly worse at managing stamina. Marathoner, better at managing stamina, but slightly slower. Steady, better at managing stamina, but slightly worse at turning. Technical, better at turning, but slightly slower. And fancy feet, better at turning, but slightly worse at managing stamina. So there's 6 different riding traits you can do. All my horses have kind of only gotten the bulldozer trait for the most part. I think bulldozer and then maybe fancy feet. I can't remember. But if you have different horses with some of these different skills, definitely take them out, ride them, see how you like how they feel, and then you can decide, okay, marathoner is the skill for me. That is the functional trait I want when it comes to my horse. And you can kind of better breed for that trait. But now that we've talked about the boring technical traits, let's talk about the fun, cute traits. The cosmetic traits that you can get for your Dawn Spur, for your horse. Now, I have not seen all these cosmetic traits for myself in person, so I'm going to be popping up photos from the Palia wiki, which other people have added, which I greatly appreciate. Again, the wiki is such a great resource. But we have 6 different base color coats that we have a chance of getting. We have the Palomino coat, the white coat, the gray coat, the chestnut coat, the cornflower coat, and the peony coat. And then for patterns, we have dappled, paint, zigzags, hearts, polka dots, and stripes. And for sheen, we have sparkly, iridescent, dirty, and shiny. And then there are 3 visual effect traits. These are legendary traits that are a lot harder to get. It's a smaller chance of getting them, but if you do get them, hold on to them. Do not touch those reroll cookies. Do not touch those oopsie cookies. These are very hard to get. And that is the aura, where your horse is surrounded by a colorful glow. The electric, where your horse radiates electricity. And sparkles, your animal sparkles. And most of these effects, you can really see them easily around the mane itself. Those are all the different cosmetic traits. And here on the screen, I'm going to show you my horses that I have and all their different traits combined so you can see what they look like. Because me just listing out all the traits, They're individual. But for the most part, we're probably going to have horses that combine a lot of these different traits and patterns together. So you've created the best horse ever, and you want to ride it around and show it off so everyone else can be jealous. But every time you get on your horse to ride it, it's not the one you're wanting. It's not the cute one you want to show off. So we need to fix that. Start off by going to your inventory. I'm on PC, so all I have to do is press the I key. And when I click this button right here, it will go to my collections where you can choose what emotes and stickers you want on your wheels and things like that. But there's also a button right here where you can see the mounts. And when you click on this button, you can see all the different adult horses I have. You can only ride a horse that is either young adult or older, but if you have a horse that is venerated, you can still ride them. If the horse you're wanting to ride is a baby, you do need that instant grow cookie to age them up into a young adult. But you have all your adult horses here, and really all you need to do is just click on one of them. Click on the one you want, and then the next time that you click on your toolbar and you select your horse, that should be the horse that comes up. Boom, it's beautiful. My beautiful horse is here, ready for me to show it off and ride around Palia together. Now, the one thing that I love is you can make this new feature of the horses as simple or as complex as you'd like. Like, you don't need to dive into the breeding so that way you can get the bestest and the fastest horse around if you don't want to. Because the base horse we get, it does everything we need. If you just want to have a horse to be an accessory, get you from point A to point B faster, you've got it. Or if you want to fully dive into being the head of a fully working horse ranch, you can do so with that as well. And honestly, the controls for the horse do take time. Don't expect to be able to run full throttle from the very beginning and for it to be smooth. There are controls in the settings that you can tweak and change to see if whatever's more comfortable for you. Hopefully the tips that I've said in this video earlier also help you to kind of get a lay of the land and make you feel more confident when it comes to riding your horse. But I feel like they've put a lot of thought and care into how these horses work and what we can do with them. And as someone personally who doesn't like to always use the fast travel boards, I appreciate this faster mode of transportation, especially because we now have 4 worlds for us to ride through, and we have to pretty much get from, if we're in Kilima, not using fast travel boards, we have to go through all of them to get to the Royal Highlands. So I do appreciate this. And the speed at which I can mount and unmount my horse is absolutely perfect. So hopefully now you feel more confident and you feel like a true Palia horse pro after this video. Please, in the comments, tell me all about your horses. What did you name them? What do they look like? Are you going to be using your horses more often in your daily Palia life now? Tell me all about it. Also, let me know if you have any more questions, or if I didn't explain something right, or if you just have more tips that I haven't thought of yet when it comes to being a Palia horse pro. But if you enjoyed this Palia horse tutorial, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, as I'm hoping to get out more tutorial videos, as well as just other content in general about all of our favorite cozy games. So hopefully... My cat is right here. She now wants to play. She has now decided it's time to play. So I guess I need to get off to hang out with her. So hopefully I'll see you real soon, whether it's in a live stream or in another video. But I guess the only thing I have left to say is bye. Oh my goodness. You're a mess. She's a mess.